Hey YouTube, how's it going? Well, I wanted to share something with you today, a topic that I was kind of thought you might find interesting, and it's on cellaring your pipe tobacco. I was curious if you guys actually are actively building and cellaring your pipe tobacco. Are you the type that basically just you maybe buy a couple of tins and you smoke that and then you go buy some more, so you really don't build up a cellar of tobacco. You just kind of buy as you smoke. For me, I'm not actively, well, let me put it this way. I have a kind of de facto pipe tobacco cellar, and by that I mean I'm purchasing pipe tobacco faster than I can smoke it. I'm not actually going out and actively buying large amounts of tobacco on a regular basis to try to store up, in stock so that I have, years of tobacco in my cellar. I just happen to buy pipe tobacco faster than I smoke it. That's mainly because I've only been pipe smoking for about 2.5 years, almost 3 years now. So there's still a lot of pipe tobacco blends out there that I haven't tried, that I want to try, and I kind of want to get an idea of what I really, really, really like before I go out and start buying large quantities of it, like in pounds at a time. Now there are some blends I've already got that I already know that I really like, and so I bought larger quantities of that. But for the most part, I'm still going out and buying, just a few, 1 tin of this and 1 tin of that because I want to try it. And like I said, I've been buying them faster than I'm smoking them, so I've built up a pipe tobacco cellar in that way. But I was just wondering, you know, are you actually cellaring? Are you trying to grow your pipe tobacco collection, or you just smoke what you buy and only buy just a little bit at a time and smoke that? I'd really like to hear your comments on that. And kind of what prompted me to ask that is if you'd seen my recent videos, maybe two or three back, where I kind of talked about my little self-induced adventure in trying to purchase some of the Dunhill pipe tobacco blends that have recently become available again in the U.S. market. And I'd gotten those had come in. I'd received the shipment of them, and I was putting them into my cellar, and both my physical cellar and also I have an online cellar, and it's at a website that is called www.tobaccocellar.org. And it's this online website. It's kind of a database form where you can input a bunch of information about your pipe tobacco, and it'll arrange it in this a nice little database with a pretty decent, it's simple presentation, but it's a nice presentation. You can sort and track your pipe tobacco through it. And when you enter information in it, you enter things like the number of tins you purchased, the name of the blend, GLP's Westminster, something like that. The date it was tinned, if you can find that information on the tin, the date you purchased it, the weight in ounces. So if you're buying stuff that's tinned in the metric in grams, you can do a little conversion, or you can just assume, like I do, a 50-gram tin is 2 ounces, although it's not. But I just do that just to make it simple for me. The price you paid for it. The container type, is it a pouch? Is it a tin? Did it come in a vacuum sealed bag? Things like that. The condition of the container came in excellent, good, fair, poor. The source, where you purchased it from, and the status of the tin. Is it cellared, or have you given it away? Is it open and being used? Is it open and being smoked? Have you sold it? Has it already been smoked and used up? Things like that. And once you put all the information, it'll arrange it into this kind of basically a table, kind of a database table that you can then sort by all those different categories. So here, let me show you a screenshot of hold on guys, my online pipe tobacco cellar. Hopefully you can see that. And you can see all the different, these are my cellared tins right here. I've got a long list of them, and I'm going to sort them by age. Right now they're in alphabetical order. I'm going to sort them by age from oldest to youngest or newest. So I sort them by age, and you can see that the oldest tin I have, hopefully you can see that, is by McClellan. It's Bombay Court, and it is 5 years, 4 months old, And the next oldest tin I have is McBaron's HH Vintage Syrian, almost 3 years old. So I like to sort mine and view them by, excuse me guys, by age. You know, if I know the tin age. If I don't know the tin age, just leave it blank and it just, you know, makes it, assumes it's brand new. But I like to sort mine by oldest to youngest, because if there's not a particular blend that I want to smoke, I don't get a craving for something in particular, I just go to whatever the oldest one. So unless I get like, I just got this Dunhill, unless I just like, I really want to try that nightcap and early morning pipe now. Even though according to my database, this stuff is less than a month old because I didn't have a 10 date on it, so I just used the date I purchased it. So unless I get a craving for that and want to crack that open right now, I'll probably open up that tin of Bombay Court, which is 5 years, 4 months old. That's just the way I do it. No particular reason to that. This website also, you can input into your profile your smoking rate, and by that you put in things like the approximate number of bowls you smoke in a month and the approximate number of bowls you believe you can fill with 1 ounce of tobacco. Now, you know, if you smoke really big pipes like Pipe Friend CHS, you know, 1 ounce of tobacco will probably only get you a few bowlfuls. But if you smoke really small bowl pipes like a, you know, a Dunhill Group 2 or maybe a small Cobb or something like that, 1 ounce of tobacco will fill a lot more bowls. So, you know, you input information in that like that, and then it'll spit out these kind of, it's called the cellar at a glance. There's little information facts about your cellar. For example, for mine, my cellar currently contains 53 tins and has 48 blends represented. So from that you can see I have a lot of single tins of I have a lot of single tins of a whole bunch of different stuff, because I'm still trying out things. So I buy 1 tin of this and 1 tin of that and 1 tin of this. Now I do, like I said, there are a few tobaccos I've already tried that I know, oh yeah, I love this stuff and I want to buy a bunch of it. So you know, I've got these mason jars over here, these bale top jars that I have, you know, like this one's got, can you see that? Nope. Well, sorry, I can't read that. That's got Bob's Chocolate Flake in it. So I keep some of the stuff I know I want to buy like in 8 to 6 ounces at a whack in jars like that. But pretty much the bulk of my tobacco cellar are individual like 2 and 4 ounce tins. So again, I have 53 tins and 48 blends represented. I have approximately 10 pounds of tobacco. You add all that stuff up, I have about 10 pounds of tobacco in my cellar. At my defined smoking rate or pace, that amount of tobacco will fill approximately 2,370 bowls of tobacco, and it should take me about 2 years to smoke all that. And it'll also tell you how much money you spent in establishing that collection. Like I've spent almost $660. Ooh, that sounds like a lot. In purchasing all this tobacco. And then it'll give you some statistics on your tobacco cellar as well. Like it'll tell you the aging milestone by weight. Like I have 3.4 pounds of tobacco that's at least 6 months old. I have 3.8 pounds of tobacco that's at least 1 year old. I have 0.7 pounds of tobacco that's at least 2 years old. It'll also tell you the number of tins by brand. Like I have 9 tins of Samuel Gwith and 8 tins of McClellan and 6 tins of Cornell and Deal and so on. It'll also tell you, it'll break out the percentage of tins by country of origin. For example, I have 34% of my tins in my cellar are English tobacco, or they came from England. 35.8% are, or excuse me, 37% came from the United States. Pretty much the rest came from Denmark. It'll also tell you, break out percentage-wise, by kind of cut you have. Like for example, I have 37.7% of my pipe tobacco is ribbon cut, 32.1% of it is flake cut, 17% of it is a broken flake, and so on. And then it'll tell you the percentage of tins by blend type. For example, I have 20.8% aromatic, excuse me, 22.6% that are English Latakia blends, 26.4% that are Virginia blends, 7.5% that are vapors. Things like that. It's really kind of a useful website for organizing and tracking your pipe tobacco, especially if you have a lot of it, a lot of different things. So I find it useful, and I wanted to share that with you guys. So that's my online pipe cellar. Let me show you my physical pipe cellar. Let you get a you guys probably get a good laugh out of this. But here it goes. So right here, this little fabric covered box is my pipe cellar. Like I said, I showed you those bale top jars that I have that I keep the big bulk stuff, but here's what I keep all my tins in. So you can see it is full to the brim. I've got, you know, this bag that's got some cobs in it, some flints and some stuff like that. Here's a small 8-ounce bag of Penzance in bulk I got in there because it takes up not much space. You know, some cloths to clean stuff with. To get those out of the way. I've got, you know, here's the early morning pipe. I've got, you know, some cleaners I just bought. But this thing is full to the brim, as you can see, with tins of tobacco. Yep, there are all those tins of tobacco. Squadron Leader, Celtic Talisman, HH Vintage Syrian, you know, Blackwood's Flake, all kinds of stuff. So that is my tobacco cellar. Excuse me, guys. So, you know, I just wanted to share that with you. This is a fun kind of hobby, and it's fun to share this stuff with you. But again, I was updating it with that recent purchase of the Dunhill stuff, and I figured I'm going to put together a video and ask you guys, you know, how you do your pipe tobacco cellar. Are you cellaring pipe tobacco or not? And then I figured, well, I'll share about this website, tobaccocellar.org. That's a useful little tool if you have a lot of tobacco that you want to keep track of. So there you go. Hope you found that interesting. Hope everyone's been doing well. I appreciate all my subscribers. I do. Thanks, and look forward to any comments you have, guys. We'll see you soon.